Dave Cooper Live, we connect the industry leaders in the architectural, engineering, and construction space with the people, the products, and the processes to help them build it better. The construction industry is changing fast. New technologies are transforming how we build, but where does that leave the skilled trades who are keeping projects moving? Today on Dave Cooper Live, we're exploring the intersection of technology and the trades and how smart construction is reshaping the future of building. Welcome back to Dave Cooper Live, where we bring you the people, the products, and the processes that are shaping the future of the built environment. And today we are joined by Conor Hammes, CEO of Planet Growth. Conor is here to dive into the exciting innovations in smart construction, the evolving role of the trades, and how technology and manufacturing are coming together to build smarter and more efficiently. So if you're curious about how traditional craftsmanship meets cutting-edge technology, then this conversation is for you. But first, before we get into any or all of this, a big shout out to our good friends at Cobalt Creed. They service builders, developers, prefab home builders, and manufacturers, allowing them to achieve the highest levels of comfort, indoor air quality, and low energy costs with their HVAC systems installed for their projects and their customers. Their approach is simple. By using their proprietary small duct, high velocity central heating and cooling system, go to learn more at cobaltcreed.com. And now a few words from these sponsors as well. CombiLift is the largest global manufacturer of multi-directional forklifts and straddle carriers, a leader in long load handling solutions, offering a free warehouse and site optimization design service. CombiLift helps companies of all sizes and from every industry maximize the capacity, safety, and efficiency of their warehouse and storage facilities. A big thank you to Paul Short and the team at CombiLift for helping us all to build it better. Visit them at combilift.com. Forward Solutions Group is successfully driving companies to succeed where others have failed. Are you looking to start a factory, optimize your existing factory, streamline your production, or take your team to the next level? Whatever your needs are, Forward has a solution for you. Reach out to Ben at forwardsolutionsgroup.com. All right, a big thank you to all of our supporting members. And if you want to be a supporting member as well and be in the know, and get invited to some of our exclusive executive events around the world, hey, support us. Right down below, you can see all these different people that have supported us over the years and continues to grow, so we can keep bringing you all of these informative conversations from around the world. So without further ado, let's hop on with Conor. Conor, welcome to the show today, my friend.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
Yeah, listen, I'm glad you were able to come on today and talk about all the cool stuff you're working on. But Conor, before we get into this, I have one request of all my guests. In fact, we want to know everything about you from the moment you were born to this very moment in time. Do not leave out any of the good stuff from the hospital, or we will have a family member on, and I'm sure it would get embarrassing for you. But you only have a minute and a half to do it. Conor, the floor is yours. Go to it, and then let's hop into what you're doing at Planet Growth.
Awesome. Yeah. So I was born into a family just north of Chicago who had a history of manufacturing experience. Our great grandfather actually invented the incinerator, garbage disposal. And my dad's brother is a large hospital developer. So growing up, real estate was definitely in our bloodline. And then as I progressed, I got into technology and spent some time with the folks over there at Harley Davidson, analyzing all of their data and their traffic for the 40 million visitors that came to their website and their apps annually. And then eventually helped SC Johnson Wax and their operation to reorganize their entire mechanical blueprint operation, and got to spend some time with some mechanical engineers, and then eventually worked with Schneider Electric out in Boston to host the North America Innovation Summit, which was a collaboration of energy companies and technology companies coming together to sort of decide about the future of North American energy. And so with all of that experience, I eventually ended up deciding to go off on my own and begin working towards helping the construction industry to integrate all of these amazing technologies into a solution that's simpler and faster, that allows the tradesmen in the construction industry to implement these new technologies with less effort, and allow the technology industry to be able to upgrade and continue to innovate. And as their technologies continue to evolve, they can be, put back into the building, so to speak, as time goes on, without having to deconstruct the existing buildings and create a lot of waste.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you guys do a bunch of things, and I'm really excited to talk about some of those products that you have. The Syncerator, really? Is that a garbage disposal?
It is, yes.
Right. That's really cool, man. So you kind of grew up in the environment of I guess inventing things.
Yes, I was talked about our great grandfather quite often, and the funny story is that he actually did it because he got tired of his wife complaining about food getting stuck in their kitchen sink.
Listen, I say this all the time, right? All solutions come from a problem. You know, somewhere somebody said, this doesn't make any sense. Why are we doing this? This is an easy fix. And then they get into it and find out it's not so easy, but eventually they get to the answers that they need.
There you go. Yeah, he wanted to help his wife so when she was doing the dishes and they were done eating, that life would be simpler for everybody in the home and she'd be happy.
I love it. Well, let's get into this, Conor. You know, I want to get into some of the technology that you were kind of alluding to, but first, how do you see smart construction technology transforming the traditional trades and craftsmanship in the built environment?
So when we talk about smart homes, the current sort of technology that's out there is it's very responsive to the individuals in the building. So for those that have been around it, if you enter a room, the lights turn on without you having to flip a switch. If it's a certain time of the day versus another time of the day, obviously the lights are going to be at a different level. Sound, we're starting to understand the importance of acoustics and how that can affect the frequencies of our bodies and affect our brains. And so, we used to build home theaters and just pile all of this technology and all these upgrades into a single room. But the reality is why not have that in every room? Why not have that in your bedroom? Why not have that in your family room? Why not have that in your basement recreation area? So the course of changing the current smart home construction industry will require the affordability of integrating these kinds of things into people's buildings. And rather than have to pay a single large expensive contractor to do stuff like this, it's going to become important that all contracting operations have the ability to do something like this. And so we set out to simplify the process so that it makes it very easy for the construction integration to take place without it costing a small fortune.
So walk me through some examples of that, and what you guys are doing to simplify, because here I got a house and I've been putting smart switches in and they're driving me damn crazy. So they always have to reset and they're blinking, and no offense to the smart home folks out there, but it's not as easy as one thinks.
Yeah, you bring up a great point, Dave. One of the concerns with this is, and having been a technologist myself, is that ultimately technology devices will fail. They will break down. They will need to be replaced. They will need to be maintained. There is a level of sophistication to it. And so, with that being said, while we receive this benefit while they're working correctly, there is a maintenance side to it as well. And so, a big part of that is we decided we really don't want to see these devices installed in a closed wall system. And when I say that, I mean, a traditional drywall wall that gets screwed into the studs and, gets taped over, gets mudded over, gets sand, gets primed, gets painted. With that in place and the technology embedded potentially behind that, it becomes a very costly and time-consuming process to, maintain all of these technological devices.
Well, at least in my house, it definitely does. In fact, it just gets me dirty looks when they don't work right. So, but overall, so what is the role of your company? And so if I'm out there, I'm a manufacturer of modular homes or panelized or mass timber or just a general contractor. Why do I want to work with you guys? Like, where's the value for us?
Sure. So when we went into this process, we wrote our patent. We worked with a man who has two master's degree in architecture. We worked with a man who's built over 300 commercial buildings and done all the interior work. And so we put our heads together on how we would be able to accomplish creating something like this. And when we patented it, it went through the patent office and it got approved. And then shortly thereafter, somebody potentially saw what we had created. I'm not sure, but they decided to do a homemade version of this, and they put it on Facebook, and it received an incredible response. There was 20 million viewers who took a gander at what they had built, and it was kind of validation that this is something that the market's going to want. When they developed their system, they hadn't really thought through how all of this stuff works together, and they kind of closed it off at the very end with the finished materials. So it wasn't truly modular in the sense that you couldn't just unassemble it and get access to all the technology the way that our system works. However, it was apparent that the future is probably along these lines. There were comments, "This is the coolest innovation I've ever seen." So I think if anybody's out there watching and has an interest in what we're doing, we decided we didn't want to develop this with one application and then try to distribute it and tell everybody that this is the way that things have to be done. we understand, the nature of man, and ultimately we understand that we're not necessarily always going to be the smartest entity in the room. And so we really just truly want to offer you the baseline application, which is the structural hardware and potentially the BIM profile, and work with you guys to allow you to design and develop whatever it is that you're looking for. That applies to your homes and your buildings and your thoughts and your visions. We want to collaborate. We want to be a part of your world. We want to help you as much as we can, but we also want to see this thing grow, and we want to see it fly. And we know with your help that's going to be possible.
So the technology and the hardware that you're speaking of, these are patent owned things that you guys have come up with.
Yeah, the technology side of things is something that is a little bit, I'd say, it's in the future. It's more related to the military. There's applications there. There's things that it's going to be used for with the government, and so we're still kind of keeping that under wraps, but. The hardware side is a great way for the residential and commercial industries to start, creating reattachable wall systems, which means you can design and develop these things off-site if you choose. You can bring them into your building whenever you choose to and install them very quickly without having to create dust. And so for commercial application, especially, the idea of remodeling your branded, building, your branded business, instead of shutting your business down for 2 to 4 weeks to do so, this gives you the opportunity to change out the look and feel of your interior within a matter of a couple to few hours. So you could be doing this overnight. You could be doing it off hours, and you wouldn't be losing any customers. On the residential modular side, it would probably benefit your buyers to have a system that they can continually upgrade. So instead of having to call a contractor to come over and help, and have to have a drywall craftsman come in and out along with their electricians. This gives them the ability to, potentially do some of this work themselves. Looks like the consumer technology industry is definitely moving toward USB plugs, along with the obvious AC current electrical plugs that we have today. And so, it's not necessary at this point in time to worry too much about what's going to happen in 5 years. The important thing is if you decide you want to, add an Alexa, or you want to add a Google Nest, or a security camera, or any of the smart devices into your business or your home, that you can do it in a aesthetically pleasing way where when it's time to upgrade it, you don't have to worry about taking down some drywall and fishing through your stud cavities, and trying to figure out how to hide your wires and do all of those kinds of things.
So what we're talking about is all the technology that you guys have from insulation, sound insulation, from electrical plugs, USB-C. You've built all this into an integrated plug and play wall system. Is that accurate?
Absolutely. And we definitely want to work with all of the consumer technology businesses. So whether that be Samsung or Google or Apple or whomever it may be, they all are continuously evolving and innovating. And so our vision is, as this develops, farther along we go, it may make sense for some of these companies to start, reconsidering how their devices attach to smart buildings. And that kind of gets back into the discussion about construction, because we technically have a shell that generally is 16-inch on center studs. And so all these technology companies have basically developed all of their hardware to be able to be attached in a fashion that mimics the 16-inch on center stud pattern.
Right.
And so we've got TVs that mount to studs. We've got all of these devices, and ultimately when you actually consider the fact that you can design and develop an architecture that doesn't have to follow the 16-inch on center stud pattern, then technically all of this stuff could be attached through potentially maybe a universal attachment style. If we started going down that path, it would make everyone's life much easier, especially if we decide here in North America to follow the standards that Europe has and actually move away from wires and start doing things more wirelessly.
Yeah, for sure. Or even low voltage for that matter, right? And there's companies that are doing that as well. So is the patent that you sent over to me, it shows the system. Is that something I can put up on the screen here and show?
Sure.
Maybe you can walk us through what that is. And as you're doing it, what differentiates you from some of the other plug and play wall systems that are out there that we've seen?
Sure. So what we're seeing is a new wall on the left-hand side of the image. The first rectangle is obviously the finish material, and the second rectangle is the frame. And so we decided to work with steel stud manufacturers to develop this frame. That allows us to quickly, create openings where they need to be. It allows us to move things around architecturally. And then the next set of rectangles are the structural hardware that we are now developing. And it's a attachment. It basically allows the left-hand portion, the new wall, to attach to the existing wall on the right-hand side very quickly. It allows it to detach very quickly. It allows it to reattach very quickly. So with an endless amount of attachments and detachments, it basically creates an environment where anyone working on the utilities inside of this building can remove the existing wall, the facade, the artistic aesthetic, and have access inside, which then the circles are your utilities, whether that be electrical on the top or the plumbing lines on the bottom, and then the two big rectangles above and below the circles on the top, and then the third position moving down. Those are the obviously the other structural hardware attachments that get attached to the existing wall, which is the far right rectangle. And so while this is a very simple concept, the reality is it opens up an entirely new world of utility development, placement, innovation. The cavity between the new wall and the old wall can be basically any dimension. Whether you'd like to put a main breaker box in between the old and the new wall, or if you decided you'd like to install some server racks, whatever you desire to have hidden from the aesthetic of the interior of the room, this new way of developing cavities really truly opens up the technology and allows the construction industry to finish the interior side of the wall off similarly to how they currently do. And so it's not going to be a giant leap for architects or interior designers. It's not going to be a difficult exchange into this for carpenters or contractors who are going to install it. The technology professionals who technically are now becoming the construction consultants are going to love the ability to get in and out of a building and in and out of a wall and have access to all of the devices that they're going to be installing behind this new aesthetic wall very quickly and without a lot of energy taken up.
Now, is this for new construction, retrofit, or it can be either or? I mean, you could build a building just made to accept this, plug and play system you have. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's pretty universal. There are going to probably be areas of a building that this is not going to be applied. For example, if you're hanging heavy cabinetry, this is not something that we would recommend using. But along other walls, yes, this could be used floor to ceiling. It can be used, at 8 foot, 9 foot, 10 foot, where the exterior wall has maybe a different aesthetic to it, and this is placed just slightly in front of it with some backlighting and potentially some interactive motion activated lighting. This is the exciting part is we're gonna get to see an entirely new world of construction and technology here, and the potential to do things differently are limitless.
Yeah, for sure. Well, how does the plumbing stacks work? Like, how do you line that up? How do you make connections in those chase areas?
That's why we recommended keeping the plumbing on the existing wall, rather than having it be reattachable. We definitely don't want a flood. We definitely don't want an insurance issue. But if the plumbing's in the existing wall inside of the studs already, and it's coming out into the room, then there's really no change needed there. If it's a new construction building and somebody decides they want to hang the plumbing along the interior face of the exterior wall, rather than actually bring it through the studs, that would be something where now your plumbers can hang their packs real quickly, and they have access to it down the road if they decide they need a tee somewhere, or they need to change something. And so as far as the front facing wall, we would recommend that an opening be made in it to accommodate whatever the plumbing fixture is that needs to be accessible. That way, you don't have to worry about any water leakage taking place.
So how is this going to be distributed? Let's say, here I am, I have an existing building, I want to either retrofit it, or I'm a factory and I want to, I'm building this beautiful commercial building, whether it's a hospital or multifamily or what office space, and they want to incorporate this technology so the client in the future can then do this whole plug and play and change out the look and feel as they go. How is this all going to get distributed, and how does the process start? Walk me through the process.
Sure. So we decided to work with a man in St. Louis to start this process. And his organization has all the architectural tools. If somebody wants to design or build something new, he would have the ability to help you. If you have all of those skills in-house, if you've already got your own set of architects, then truly we would just collaborate with you and help you to answer any questions that you may have. And so our first couple of projects are going to definitely be very, involved projects where we are going to walk through all of these steps and all of the questions on how to best accommodate this system into a building. And we also look forward to learning about, what your project needs are. We've developed these and installed them in buildings that we own just to verify that everything works. And through that process, we've answered a lot of our own questions. So if somebody's interested, we would be happy to introduce you to a great man who's got a great business and a factory and all of the equipment to develop this, along with all of our other partners, including all the finished material businesses who can provide, a multitude of different look and feels. We definitely know that this is going to be something that is going to probably fill specific needs to start, whether that be head walls or, entertainment rooms or meetings and lobby rooms. So when it comes time to decide how to integrate your technology into your building, we would really appreciate the opportunity to help you.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think what's interesting about this is some others in the industry that I know that have seen your system have kind of smacked themselves in the back of the head saying, why didn't we think of this? And I know it's kind of a vague conversation for those of you out there watching because you're just finalizing your patents and some other things. But I do think that what you guys are doing will be a game changer for the retrofit market in a big way.
Appreciate that, Dave. Yeah, we've definitely gotten some really good feedback
Yeah.
from some pretty important businesses in both the real estate and the technology world. In fact, I think Siemens Federal Technology Government Contracting Division that said something to the effect of this could potentially change the direction of the world. And so, we are taking this seriously. We're ready to go. We've got everything developed. We've got all the people in place. We're about to start showing it off to the world. But we really want to work with the right partners who, we know that we're going to be able to truly make an impact in the industry with you guys. We want people that are going to take this and they're going to make sure that it gets implemented.
How do people get involved with you, Conor? I have your website up here, just kind of scrolling through, it's fairly basic, but there's definitely some contact areas on this because the wall is just one part of your technology. You guys are doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we definitely would be interested in having a conversation with anybody that's interested in, energy, water, containers, shipping containers. We have some great connections in all of those industries and some pretty interesting energy devices. We're ready to really engage. And everybody's kind of coming together as we speak. So just sending an email or contacting us via our website and our contact form, which will generate an email and letting us know that you'd like to have a conversation would be a great way to start developing a relationship here. Our energy partner has verified electrical devices that are really interesting. I can't say too much online, and obviously we'll need an NDA to be able to disclose more. But it's something that's possibly it's going to change the world.
Well, we love things changing the world. It needs to be changed in so many different ways when it comes to the built environment. The way we've been building isn't working as we've discussed. And, this is going to be another tool in the tool belt for all the builders out there, developers, manufacturers, to take a look at and, decide if it's for them or not, and I think that's really what the value is here. You're looking at the industry in a different light than others are looking at it, and you're taking a different approach. And I am a firm believer that that's what needs to happen if we're truly going to make progress and change and be able to build enough affordable housing and structures and buildings and do it in a sustainable, healthier, greener, and more affordable way. Something's got to change. That's my soapbox, Connor.
I like your soapbox. Can I get on it with you?
Yeah, you can get on it. It's a big one, man. So don't worry. It's like Noah's Ark. We can all get in my soapbox and take this show on the road. So Connor, I mean, wrapping up here, tell me, is there anything that we didn't cover that you want to make sure, the world knows about you guys and what you're doing?
We're humble Americans who worked hard. We broke our backs and our bodies building stuff all these years. We're trying to figure out how to help the next generation of tradesmen not have to work so hard, to keep their bodies in better shape. At the end of the day, if we've got a net loss on our trades numbers, being able to do something like this is gonna allow us to make up ground. It's going to be healthy to allow the construction industry to be able to work faster. And so I just say, moving into the future, we really all just need to help each other. We really need to take each other's hands and make this happen so that we're still developing buildings. We're still creating, safe, healthy environments. We're still, keeping our infrastructure in good shape. And we're giving young people an opportunity, to work and to have jobs and to raise families. And so that's our mentality is, we're all about the family unit, and we really want to see that be the more important factor here than anything related to money or power or control or any of those things that, sometimes we fail to put aside for a bigger cause, a bigger reason. And so I'm not somebody that's doing this to gain attention or notoriety. I really am doing this because it's something that I believe I was just told to do at some point. And so please help take this and make it better now. Put your spin on it, guys. Make this thing incredible. Outshine whatever I've come up with, please.
Yeah. Well, that's what I love about it. It's expandable, and that's how you're looking. It's almost like open source, right?
It's exactly that.
It's open source, and you can expand it and build on it, and keep growing it. So that's what I think is great about this. And also your culture of, hey, we're doing this not just for us, but for everybody. And it's an open source type platform, wall system and technology that you can help share in the ideas and the thoughts on how to keep expanding it. So it's a powerful thing. Connor, man, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Dave. I've always truly enjoyed speaking with you. You have amazing energy, a great personality. There's nowhere else I'd rather be today. Thank you.
No, thank you, man. Appreciate you taking the time. Don't go anywhere. We'll come back to you after the outro of the show. And hey, listen, if you want to meet up or get in touch with Connor, just send them to your website, right? planetgrowth.com.
Yes, sir.
Best way to do it. There's plenty of places you can click, and you can definitely, once you sign the NDAs, get to see more and more of what they have going on there. I highly recommend that you go and do it. And for the rest of you out there, guess what? It's Monday. That means we still got 4.5 days to keep building it better. So the show's almost over. So when we're done here, get back to building, but not until we're done here. So with that said, listen, everybody, we appreciate you tuning in today. We appreciate all the support. We also appreciate all of our supporting members down there. We can't do any or all this without them. And we're working on some exciting news. I'm not going to tell you, I'm like Connor right now. I can't tell you all of it, but we got some big things happening this year and super excited. And stay tuned because this guy That's right, is going to Istanbul. We're going to show you offsite manufacturing in Turkey. We're leaving sometime on the 25th. I'll be over in Istanbul for a while, so stay tuned for that. We might be streaming live from Turkey. How many people have been to Turkey before? Not me. I'm excited to go. Connor, you ever been to Turkey?
Not yet.
All right. Well, listen, the plane's leaving in a couple weeks here, so, get your ticket. Let's go. We can show your technology there as well. All right, everybody. Listen, I'm Dave Cooper. Really appreciate all you do. Make sure you thank these supporting members as well. Connor, I'll come back to you after the outro. But for the rest of you out there, keep building it better. Let's make this world better for everybody, to include your kids, my kids, more sustainable, and more importantly, how do we build it better and affordable? I'm Dave Cooper. Thanks for watching. What an amazing show. Thank you to all of our sponsors for helping us to continue to bring all of these innovative conversations to all of you out there. Please visit them, see what they have to offer you. And as always, subscribe to the YouTube channel and ring that bell. It would mean the world to us. I'm Dave Cooper. Thanks for watching.